all, and as promised, this is not so much a review, but this is just my thoughts. A lot of people have always asked me about being at Wrestlemania 17 and what it was like and all of those things, and I've done the Raw review, or I've done the Nitro, me talking about Nitro, me talking about ECW, so here it is, finally, me talking about Wrestlemania 17. I'm going to try to keep it kind of short, so I'm not going to do a review so much of the show. Because you can go elsewhere to find reviews of the show, which I would say are just as good. But that said, let's start with the whole thing. When they announced that WrestleMania 17 was going to be in Houston, I got really excited. If you go back and you look at the original promo was the whole thing was supposed to be that it was supposed to be the biggest WrestleMania, and was supposed to actually top attendance-wise WrestleMania 3, which it didn't end up doing because somebody in the WWE didn't realize just how many people actually fit in the dome, in the Astrodome. But just looking forward to it. The tickets finally went on sale. I went and bought the tickets, and I actually spent, I believe it was $5 less a ticket for my WrestleMania tickets than my Nitro tickets that I went to, and my WrestleMania tickets were in the exact same, almost the exact same place as my Nitro tickets. Figure that out. So, you know, that was a good start. Of course, I had to wait until WrestleMania started, and then that weekend, I took the entire weekend off because of fan access. And I would say if anyone has never been, if you ever have a chance to go to WrestleMania, if you ever have WrestleMania around you, and even if you can't get tickets to WrestleMania, go to fan access because it is freaking amazing. At least it was when I went. There's so much to do, so many people to see, just lots of fun stuff to do. When I went, there was, at the time on the internet, I was on a couple of chat rooms, and though there wasn't a lot of people that I chatted with that lived in Texas, there was a lot of message boards I went to that people that lived in Texas that were going to come in. And so there was about 100 of us at Fan Access that kind of met up and kind of went around together and did everything. So that was a lot of fun because it was a lot of fun to be around a lot of smart fans during that. And even during that, the first day, because I went both days, I went Friday and Saturday, and even during that, there was just this anticipation that that something was in the air. I couldn't really pinpoint it. There was, everyone was pretty much looking forward just to certain matches. People were wondering, we were discussing with them ourselves how some of the matches were going to go along, such as the Angle Benoit match, and just how certain things were going to play out. But there was this air, there was just this amazing thing, and as we got to get autographs from the wrestlers and we did all these things, the wrestlers, you could tell, were even kind of juiced up for the event a little bit, and there was just an energy around those 2 days itself. And then when I finally walked into the dome, and I walked into the dome with the guy, my friend that went with me, and we kind of looked around, and there was all these people. And I honestly, I have been to numerous events at the Astrodome, and I'd never seen that many people at the Astrodome. It was amazingly just a massive sea of people. I remember when I came home and I started reading some of the reviews of the show, that people commented just that, my God, look at all the people. And there was just a stun of people. And so it was kind of weird being kind of a smart fan at the time and wondering just how everything was going to play out. Were people going to get certain things? And I think when I knew we were in for something really special was because for an event to come off extremely good, you have to not only have good stuff in the ring, you not only have to, the fans not only have to buy into what's going on in the ring, and also they have to buy into a lot of things. And I think all of that just kind of came together. I really do, because I think if you look at each, it's kind of funny that PS Powers brought this up in his latest video, but if you look at each individual part of WrestleMania 17 and you just took it away, a lot of it you would say that wasn't very good. But as a whole, the entire show just flowed just amazingly well, and being there was amazing. I mean, I literally, when I left, I felt like I had seen the best live show I'd ever seen, and I still to this day feel that was the best live show I have ever seen in person. It was just amazing, and I wondered how well it came off on television. I wondered if it came off that good, And I will tell you that I actually think it came off better on TV than it did actually being there live. There were some elements that, such as Triple H versus Undertaker, which happened on the other side of the arena from me, so I couldn't really see it except that it was on the big screen. However, that within itself got people into it. When Angle and Benoit were going at it at the first, they were chain wrestling, and then all of a sudden they stopped, and the entire dome starts clapping like we were in Japan, and there was, you could tell who the smart fans were, because we were clapping and we were all kind of looking around like, what the fuck is going on? And it just built and built from there, and then we got the TLC match, in which was just this massively overbooked, crazy thing. It just came off perfectly, and even, you know, you had Bradshaw kind of coming in, and I think that was the first. I was always such a big Bradshaw fan, so it was really nice to see that match with the who did they take on? Can't remember the name of the feud of the people they took on now. It was them, and it was him, Taz, and Farouk, and who else? I can't remember now. Life of me, I can't remember. But anyways, that was good. Everything just came off just so beautifully, and then the main event, which it was amazing because everybody in the arena kind of knew what was supposed to happen. Everyone knew that kind of Austin was supposed to turn heel, and we were all kind of like, how is he going to turn heel in Texas? How is that going to happen? And I think they actually went out there and did a fairly good job of that, to the extent that that it worked to that extent. And of course, you know, actually the match that I thought kind of stole the show in a lot of ways. I don't think it was the best match on the card, but I do think it stole the show. Was Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon. That match was so beautifully booked, and was just so beautifully, like, spot happy, over the top, drama laced, just, I mean, everything that Vince Russo loves about wrestling that was in this match, and it worked. And it worked to such a beautiful thing that everyone was into it. It was just an amazing, amazing thing. And I remember leaving the event and feeling emotionally drained. I mean, I felt emotionally and just kind of almost spiritually just drained from being at that event. It was just so amazing, and I didn't know if it came off that well. And when I got home, my parents, you know, taped it for me, and I said, "What did you guys think?" And my dad was like, "Wow, that looked like a lot of fun to be at." And then I started watching it, and I honestly feel that show actually came off better than it did being there live. And being there live, I was like, wow, this is just an amazing show. I'm never gonna forget this. This is just once in a lifetime opportunity type thing, and I can't believe I'm getting to see this awesome of a show live. And then watching it and seeing how well it came off on television, and just seeing all the things you didn't really get to see, or the Triple H versus Undertaker match, which, you know, which of course, being there live, that's one of those matches where you don't get to appreciate it as much. And there was, you know, things that you wondered, well, did the cameras and did the mics catch that? Did they not catch that? The kind of things that went on, and it was very interesting. But I think the moment that, and I think it's an often moment that a lot of people kind of miss, is during the Angle Benoit match, and all of a sudden you get this clap. And I think that was the turning point. I think that's when everybody of us that were kind of smart fans, because we all kind of looked around at each other. You could tell. We all made eye contact of like, what are we at? What is this? This is awesome. And it was just an amazing, amazing experience that I will never forget. That it was like the pinnacle of being a wrestling fan to so much. And it was as close to as a religious experience I think I've ever gotten without actually having a religious experience. It was that kind of thing. I'm very big into, and I'll get into some videos about this, into the mythology and mythos of wrestling, and I really felt like this was one of those events that captured all of that sort of stuff. And hopefully I did a good job. I'm out. Later.